Hey, welcome people. You know what this is? You know what this video is about. These are my predictions for week 1 of the 2005 NFL season. So let's get to it. The first game of the season is your Dallas Cowboys and the Super Bowl defending champion Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I don't like both of the teams. I don't like the Eagles, and I do not like the Cowboys. But if you ever heard, the Cowboys traded away their best player on their team, and that defense is not going to be that great. You guys all know I'm talking about Micah Parsons getting traded. Without Micah Parsons, that defense is not going to look the same. And the Eagles, you know what the Eagles are? They made trades, they made great signings. They're still the team to beat in the NFC. If I have to pick, I'm taking the reigning, defending Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles on the board. Sorry, Cowboy fans. Sorry. Then we also have another game on Friday night. And on Friday night, we're going to have the Kansas City Chiefs versus the San Diego Chargers. Now, San Diego did a lot in free agency this year. They brought in Najee Harris as running back. They also brought back Keenan Allen for a wide receiver, which they really needed badly. I mean, Justin Herbert needed a wide receiver badly, and they finally brought Keenan Allen back. But, you know, Keenan Allen is an older wide receiver. I don't know how much more juice he has in the tank. And the Kansas City Chiefs, you know what they are. They're always going to be a good team. You got Patrick Mahomes, you got Travis Kelce. But there was a news out there saying that one of his wide receivers are not going to be on the team for the first 6 weeks, I think. Rashid Rice. But it's okay because they did draft the receiver last year in Xavier Worthy. He was coming on at the end of last season, so let's see if he can continue his dominance. They also have Marquez Hollywood Brown, so that might be a boost to the offense too. And Travis Kelce is going to be Travis Kelce. But in this matchup, I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs over the San Diego Chargers. So now we get into the Sunday games. The first Sunday game is Tampa Bay at Atlanta. Do I have to say more? Because Atlanta Falcons, they're starting a second-year QB. Penix Jr., I don't know if he's going to be that good or not. Let's see. That offense, they do have some weapons like Kyle Pitts is still a tight end over there. They got the running back. They got Drake London as receiver. The O line is not bad, but but over on the other side, the Tampa Bay Bucks, Baker Mayfield was pretty good last year, pretty good, and he's gonna have a healthy Mike Mike Evans and Chris Godwin is gonna be there, so he has two terrific wide receivers. And so on that, I'm taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the Atlanta Falcons. The second game is Cleveland Browns hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. Do I really got to get into this? Do I really got to get into this kid? You know who I'm going to pick. I'm taking the friggin' Cincinnati Bengals. Why? One name, and I forgot his name. The wide receiver, Jamal Chase. The wide receiver Chase last year, man, what a great receiver. I believe he had more receiving yards than Justin Jefferson last year. And they did re-sign T. Higgins, so T. Higgins is coming back too. And Joe Burrow is healthy. He's not injured. They did try to fix that offensive line. But the major thing was over the summer is the Cincinnati Bengals are going to sign Trey Henderson. And last week they did sign him to a 1-year deal. So he is coming back. But over on the Browns, they say they're going to start Joe Flacco as the starting QB. And they did sign Myles Garrett to come back to a huge contract. So he's coming back. They drafted a defensive tackle in the first round. So let's see if he's any good. But yeah, man, with all that, I still have to pick Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. Way too much offensive power, bro. Way too much offensive power. The next game is the Colts and the Dolphins. This is a hard one. I know Tua is healthy. Tyreek Hill is there also. They did make a trade with the Steelers like about a month ago, and they did get back a free safety in Micah, who used to play for the Dolphins. So if Tua can keep it healthy, they might have a good year. And on the Colts, they are starting Daniel Jones at quarterback. Daniel Jones, the guy that got kicked out of New York. And wasn't he on the Vikings over the summer too? What a weird trade that was. But I have to go with Tua. I gotta go with Tua. The next morning game is Jacksonville Jaguars hosting the Carolina Panthers. Yes, Carolina Panthers. They did not do that much in the offseason. They drafted decent pass rusher. Maybe that's going to pan out. Still, I'm not sure about the quarterback in Carolina. He's kind of light. And they did get rid of one of their wide receivers in Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen got traded. But going to the Jacksonville Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence wasn't that bad last year. So they did get a wide receiver last year, and it worked out great. So I'm hoping those two guys had the same connection as they did last year and just built on that connection from a QB to a wide receiver. But, so yeah. I'm going with the Jacksonville Jaguars on this one. Next one up is the Las Vegas Raiders and the New England Patriots. Yes, so New England Patriots in Vegas. I'm going to say I'm taking Vegas. I'm taking Vegas over New England. Why I'm taking Vegas over New England? Well, Vegas hired a new coach, Pete Carroll. He's there now. Then they got Geno Smith, who is not that bad of a QB. Geno's better than what they had previous years. Previous years. Over on the other side, the Patriots have a new head coach in Mike Vrabel. It might take a while for his coaching staff to get on the same page. But Drake May is the only bright spot there. He looked like he could play a little bit. Last year as a rookie, he wasn't that bad as a rookie. And now you get Drake May, Stephon Diggs. I know Stephon Diggs is kind of old, but he's still going to be a safety blanket for Drake May. So, and that defense should be a little bit better, but I don't know how much better. But to that point, like I said, I'm going with the Las Vegas Raiders over the New England Patriots. Next game is the Arizona Cardinals at New Orleans. These games are going to give me a headache. We all know who's going to win. We all know Kyler Murray is going to be a great QB back there. He's not going to be a Super Bowl QB. I mean, he just isn't. He can play football, but I don't see him actually lifting up other players on his team. And Marvin Harris Jr. is going into his second year in the league, so if he can keep healthy, maybe that could help Kyler out a little bit. The running game is not existent. James Conner is coming back as the starter, but he is getting a little bit up there in age. But I'm still picking Arizona to win this game because New Orleans Saints. What can you say about that? They do have Chris Oliver. They still do have Alvin Kamara, but I don't trust their second year QB, and they did draft the QB this year in this draft. But in preseason, he didn't look that bad, but who knows? So, like I said, I'm going with the Arizona Cardinals. And the next game, kind of a funny game. Kind of a funny game. Pittsburgh Steelers at at the New York Jets. This is a very interesting game. These two teams basically they swapped QB. Justin Fields is the QB for the Jets now, who used to be the QB for Pittsburgh, and Aaron Rodgers is the QB for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who used to be the QB for the New York Jets. So, yeah. And this might be a wild game, but I'm still going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know they lost the running back, but they think Ward can be the starting running back for them. And, Aaron Rodgers is back there at QB, so not bad. The offensive line is decent. And they did go and get DK Metcalf for Aaron Rodgers. So let's see how that connection works during the season. But if I had to go with the team's going to be Pittsburgh Steelers just because of the head coach. I trust Mike Tomlinson more than I forgot the coach's name for the Jets. It was the defensive coordinator for the Lions. So yeah. But yeah, I'm going with Pittsburgh Steelers on that one. So yeah, Pittsburgh Steelers. Now we still come to the last game of the morning games. And that is New York Giants and the Washington Commanders. Yeah, I'm picking up Washington in this one. I do love what the New York Giants did in the draft. They got the pass rush linebacker in Carter. Then I think they traded back into the first round to take Jackson Dart for the QB spot. I really love that. This offseason, they did fix the offensive line a little bit, but I'm a little bit. And in preseason, Jackson Dart looked like a competent QB. He really did. He looked good out there, but he was playing the second string guys, so I don't know. And he is a new QB. It might take a little bit of a while to get used to Malik Heath or whatever. The wide receiver for the Giants with Jackson Dart. But it looks like Jackson Dart is not starting the season. It looks like Russell Wilson is going to be starting the season. But my prediction is by week 5, week 6, I think Jackson Dart will be starting for the Giants by week 6 or week 5. But the Washington Commanders, Jaden Daniels in his second year, they re-signed Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry. So he's coming back. That offensive line is decent. And on defense, they did sign Von Miller I don't know how much he has left in the tank, but they did sign a pass rusher in Von Miller. So, but we all know the Giants are not that good enough to beat the Washington Redskins. So I'm taking the Washington Commanders. Sorry about that. I said Redskins. I meant to say Washington Commanders. Yeah. Give me a break, guys. I'm doing this on a Sunday morning. And then we come to the afternoon game. The Denver Broncos versus the Tennessee Titans. I'm picking the Broncos. I'm picking the Broncos. I love Bo Nix in his second year. Like last season, at the end of the year, I was a big Bo Nix fan. Maybe it helped because Chiefs fan was a Chiefs fan, so I wanted to make him a little angry. So I jumped on the Bo Nix bandwagon. But I gotta say, Bo Nix looks like the next great QB for the Denver Broncos. I really do. And they paid one of their receivers. So I think it was Cortland Sutton is coming back with a new contract. So that should be great. Javonte Williams is still at the running back position, but that might not be the case. They did draft another running back. Going to Tennessee, they had the number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward. So he is going to start as a true rookie. And we all know what rookie QBs are like. I'm not going to say they're going to have a great season, but I don't think they are. And yeah, I have nothing else to say about the Titans. Sorry. I'm going with Denver. Next game is the San Francisco 49ers at Seattle. This is a hard game to pick. Both teams lost a lot of players in free agency this year. Niners, it looks like they lost their whole secondary and linebacking core because the Dre Greenlaw is no longer in San Fran. I think Ward, the cornerback, he's not there anymore. He's on I forgot what team that he got signed to, but he's not in San Fran anymore. And also the strong safety for the Niners, he's not there anymore. He's signed with the Denver Broncos. And on offense, they lost Aaron Banks to the Green Bay Packers, where it was the left guard position. So I don't know who they're going to put at left guard in San Fran. Ricky Pearsall is the only healthy wide receiver on the team. That's why they had to go out and trade for Sky Moore from the Chiefs. And then they started running back in Christian McCaffrey. But for some reason, they made a trade with the Washington Commanders to get their starting running back. And now he's over in San Fran. But on the other side of this game, Seattle, they lost a lot too. They lost DK Metcalf and they lost Geno Smith. But they did sign another QB in Sam Darnold. Let's see what Let's see what Sam Darnold can do. JSN is still there, but they did go out and get Cooper Kupp from the Rams, so that's another receiver. They cut their tight end Noah Fant. I don't know who they're going to put at tight end over there. That defense should be better, but by not that much. But the track record of the Niners, I am going to go with the San Francisco 49ers. Just because of the head coach. Now, the next game is a game that I can't wait to watch. And it is the Detroit Lions at Lambeau Field, Wisconsin, playing the Green Bay Wisconsin. If you saw the last podcast I did, Sports Talk, episode 47, I had a special guest on there, and the special guest was one and the only Tom Grossi. So big shout out to Tom. Thank you very much, Tom. So we were talking about this game, and we were talking about Micah Parsons getting traded to the Packers. We're going to talk about the Lions first in this game. The Lions are bringing back a whole new... Well, it's not a whole new team, but it looks like a whole new team. Jared Goff is still there. But their center retired, so they're starting a new center. On defense, they did sign a cornerback, Reed, from the New York Jets. So he should help. Aiden Hutchinson is coming back from injury, but we don't know what he looks like. He might get rusty coming back from that ACL. It could take a while. So, and then the biggest thing about the Lions, they lost their offensive coach and their defensive coach. And that could be detrimental to the team. But if you're going to bring in two new coordinators for the defense and the offense, that might be taking a step back. So, and of course, the Green Bay Packers, we already had a top 5 defense last year in every single category except sacks. So we solved that problem by getting the arguably the best edge rusher in the NFL in Micah Parsons. In his first 4 seasons being in the NFL, all 4 seasons he had double-digit sacks. And the other guy to do that was the guy back there, the jersey I had, Reggie White. And where did Reggie White play? Yes, the Green Bay Packers, and he won a Super Bowl. So I'm hoping Micah Parsons can do the same thing for these Green Bay Packers, like what Reggie White did to the 90s Packers. So, and on offense, we did draft another wide receiver in the first round. It took us 22 years to draft a wide receiver in the first round, but we did it. And his name is Matthew Green Bay Gordon. Golden. And in training camp, everybody was raving about this guy. This guy can be a number one receiver in the league. I'm hoping he is. I am a little bit worried about Jordan Love with his thumb injury, but he did have surgery on it, and luckily, it's on his non-throwing hand, so it should not be an issue. But anyway, yeah, I'm picking the Green Bay Packers in this one. I'm picking the Green Bay Packers. Then we come to the game, the Houston Texans at San Diego Rams. Houston Texans lost Stephon Diggs, so I don't know who Stroud is gonna throw the ball to. They do have Nico Collins. They still do have Nico Collins. It looks like Tank Down is coming back, but man, I don't know if he's gonna be the same guy because he had 2 ACL injuries on the same knee. So we don't know if he's gonna be a good player. So on that, I'm picking the Rams. The Rams are bringing back. Not Stafford is coming back. Puka is a beast. They added another wide receiver in Devontae Adams. And Kyler Williams is that running back. He was a pretty productive running back last year for them. So I'm picking the Rams over the Texans. Now the Sunday night game. It's a good Sunday night game. It really is. It's the new Sunday night game. It is the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills didn't do that much in free agency. Their defense got a lot worse, but they on the offensive side they did re-sign James Cook or Jerry Cook or whatever his first name is, the running back. And the Ravens are going to be the Ravens. You know that, right? Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry's coming back, Flowers at wide receiver, Bates at wide receiver. They added Jair Alexander to that defense, but I heard that he is still injured because of the knee. So I'm not sure if he's gonna start the season. And then I heard that Kyle Hamilton got hurt, so that might be a blow to them too. But I'm still gonna go with the Baltimore Ravens over the Buffalo Bills. So yeah, I'm picking the Ravens. One more game, and that is the first Monday night game. And the first Monday night game is the Minnesota Vikings, which I really don't like. You all know that, guys. At the Chicago Bears, which I don't like the Bears either. Last year, the Vikings won 14 games. And the Chicago Bears started out strong, but they fizzled away at the end of the season. But it's going to be a hard game to choose because the Vikings are starting a new QB, JJ McCarthy. Yes, he did look good in preseason, but that's like against the second and third string players. So we just have to find out if he can play or not. And I heard that Jordan Addison is suspended for about 4 games this season to start the season for some kind of a violation of the policy. So yeah, but they did go and trade for Adam Thielen. So Adam Thielen is coming back to Minnesota. That might help a little bit. Not much, but it might help. But they still do have Justin Jefferson, but he is on the injury list, and he might not be starting in week 1 on the Monday night game. So that might be a big blow also. But going to the Bears got a new head coach, Ben Johnson from the Detroit Lions. He used to be the offensive coordinator for the Lions. So I'm hoping that Bears offense is going to be a little bit better than what it was last year. But who knows, because Caleb Williams is just up and down, up and down. And they did fix their online problems. They did get rid of one of the receivers, Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen is not there anymore. But they still do have their second-year wide receiver. And they still have DJ Moore, so that could be great. They did draft another tight end this offseason, Loveland. He looked like a good tight end. So they have 2 good tight ends. And that defense looks pretty good too. The only reason that I'm going with the Bears is because we don't know what JJ McCarthy can do. So if JJ McCarthy can come out and surprise people, I would go with the Vikings, but we don't know what JJ McCarthy can do, so that's why I'm going with the Chicago Bears. And yeah, man, you guys, that is the week 1 prediction of the 2025 season openers. I am gonna be live streaming the Thursday game, Friday game, the Packers game, and the Monday night game this week. So that's gonna be 4 live streams. I hope you guys come and join me because it's gonna be a blast. So thank you so much for watching the video. Like I always say, stay safe, stay positive, and always go Pac Go. And I'll see you next time. And yeah, one more thing, guys. One more thing. Thank you guys for getting me up to 1,950 subscribers. We only need about 50 more to get to 2K subscribers. And I would like to reach that before the Packers open up against the Detroit Lions. But on that note, guys, I'll see you next time. And bye-bye, guys. Let's have a fun season.